What if forgiveness isn't weakness, but a signal of a mind that sees further than most? Some people are hurt deeply and move on almost immediately. No revenge, no bitterness, no scorekeeping. And instead of feeling lighter, it makes everyone else uncomfortable. Why? When someone wrongs you, your brain reacts before you do. Your chest tightens, your thoughts replay the moment. Your body prepares for defense. Most people stay there. They analyze what happened. They imagine what they should have said. They wait for an apology that may never come, but you might be different. You forgive quickly, sometimes instantly. Not because you forgot, not because it didn't hurt, but because holding on to it feels unnecessary. And people don't know how to respond to that. They say things like, "How can you just let that go? Don't you have boundaries? Aren't you angry?" You might even ask yourself those questions. Because forgiveness in modern culture is often misunderstood. It's framed as moral virtue or emotional softness. But psychology tells a different story. Instant forgiveness is rare. And when it appears, it usually comes from a very specific way of perceiving reality. Let's start with the brain. When you're hurt, the amygdala activates. This is the brain's threat detector. It doesn't care about fairness, it cares about survival. At the same time, the brain's default mode network begins replaying the event. Over and over. This is rumination. Rumination evolved for one reason: to prevent future harm. If you remember pain vividly, you avoid it next time. But here's the catch. Rumination is metabolically expensive. It burns energy, it keeps stress hormones elevated. It narrows perception. Most people stay trapped here because their nervous system never fully deactivates the threat response. But people who forgive instantly show a different pattern. Their prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for meaning-making and perspective, activates faster. It steps in and reframes the event. Not as a personal attack, but as a human behavior. Instead of asking, "How could they do this to me?" the brain asks, "What caused them to act this way?" This shift matters. Because anger thrives on personalization. Forgiveness thrives on depersonalization. Neuroscience studies show that people who forgive easily have stronger connectivity between emotional and regulatory brain regions. Their nervous system recovers faster. In simple terms, they don't stay emotionally hijacked for long. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes sense. In small tribes, holding grudges was dangerous. Social cohesion meant survival. Quick conflict resolution preserved group stability. Instant forgivers unconsciously optimize for long-term equilibrium, not short-term emotional validation. They're playing a longer game. Zoom out for a moment. The universe itself doesn't hold grudges. Stars explode. Galaxies collide. Entropy increases. And yet order emerges again and again. From chaos, structure forms. Forgiveness follows the same principle. It's not about excusing behavior, it's about restoring flow. Time moves in one direction. Everything that happens is immediately consumed by entropy dissolving into the past. People who forgive instantly intuitively align with this reality. They don't fight time. They don't cling to moments that are already gone. In physics, resisting entropy requires energy. In psychology, resisting emotional release does too. Instant forgivers minimize friction with reality. They accept that pain happened, and then they let the moment decay naturally. Not because it didn't matter, but because everything eventually becomes information, not identity. They understand often without realizing it that carrying resentment is like trying to reverse time. Here's the part few people talk about. Forgiving instantly doesn't mean you don't feel deeply. It often means the opposite. You feel everything, quickly, fully, and then you let it pass. You don't confuse emotion with obligation. You don't believe pain must be preserved to be honored. You've learned it perhaps through loss or repetition or exhaustion that peace is fragile. And protecting it matters more than being right. So you choose inner quiet over moral victory. Release over rehearsal, clarity over control. Sometimes you even surprise yourself. You forgive someone who didn't deserve it, not for them, but because your nervous system knows the cost of carrying weight that isn't yours. And in the silence after forgiveness, there's space to think, to feel, to exist without the echo of harm. That space is what most people never experience. Instant forgiveness isn't weakness. It's a sign of a mind that understands impermanence, a nervous system that values regulation over reaction, a perspective that sees behavior as context, not character. Not everyone is ready for that. And not everyone should be, but if this is you, if you forgive quickly, quietly, without spectacle, it doesn't mean you lack boundaries. It means you refuse to let the past rent space in the present. Because some people don't forgive to heal others.
They forgive because they already understand that nothing worth protecting comes from holding on to what time is already dissolving. And that realization changes how you move through everything.